So, ChosenCon 2024 has wrapped, and as you've been seeing probably from all of my videos that I've been coming out with since the conference, it was amazing and incredible, and I had a great time. And one of the things that I got to experience at ChosenCon 2024, along with a couple hundred other people, I think maybe, was the screening of the best Christmas pageant ever. And I got to see the movie, the entire thing. So I want to give my spoiler-free review of the movie here, whether or not you should go check it out in theaters on November 8th, and just kind of my thoughts on it, and without giving into any specific details, obviously. But yeah, I got the chance to be invited to a screening of it. It was really, really cool, and we're going to talk about all that today. So, hello, my name is Eli Hollingsworth. Welcome back to Against the Current, The Chosen podcast, and let's go ahead and roll that intro. So, the best Christmas pageant ever, the movie that Dallas Jenkins has been trying to make for 20 years based off of the classic book that I was assigned to read in school. So it's finally coming out on November 8th. There's going to be an exclusive early fan experience on November 2nd if you want to go pay to go see that. Which will feature an exclusive insight into The Chosen Season 5, which is great. And the marketing, of course, has been very tied to The Chosen kind of the whole time throughout this movie, and I think that's smart. But yeah, so the best Christmas pageant ever. I got the chance to see it, and just cutting right to the chase, I really enjoyed it. Now, some of the other chosen YouTubers there, Brandon Knight, Brandon Robbins, all of our favorite Brandons, they did not see the movie actually. Probably because it was at 9:30 on Friday night, and so I didn't get back to my hotel room till like 1 o'clock in the morning. But they were like grinding out videos already. But I was like, I really want to go see this movie because I want to support Dallas as a filmmaker. And the next morning, then I was talking to Brandon Snipe, and he brought up something to me that I think is a point that's worth noting when it comes to this whole thing, and that is he was like, "What'd you think?" And I was like, "Well, I enjoyed it." And he was like, "Well, do you enjoy it because you enjoy Dallas, or do you enjoy it because you enjoy the movie?" And I was like, "That's a good point." And I think this is like kind of the title, thumbnail, or whatever it says. This is Dallas Jenkins, a test for him as a filmmaker and as creative. Is that can he just piggyback off of? Now, there's a lot of creative heavy lifting in The Chosen, right? Obviously, and there's a lot of great storytelling being done there. But this is a test for Dallas as a filmmaker and creative to see can he make a movie, outside of The Chosen, and then have it succeed or will be received well. And obviously, he doesn't care about reception or fame or any of that, but it is a point that's worth noting, and I enjoyed the movie as it was. I think it has some of Dallas's signature humor, something that was showcased in the Resurrection of Gavin Stone, which was, and I enjoyed the Resurrection of Gavin Stone enough. I still thought it was. I mean, it wasn't super, shocking or surprising or anything like that. Like, you could pretty much tell where the movie was going, but for the story that was told, I thought it was, it was more fresh than a lot of Christian movies that were being pumped out at that time. There was a lot of that signature Dallas Jenkins humor, which is like in the scenes where if you've seen The Resurrection of Gavin Stone, which if you didn't know is the movie that flopped in the box office and why The Chosen exists, but in that movie there's a lot of like jokes that sometimes you might feel like, is it okay to be joking about this or is it okay to laugh at this? And there's a lot of like jokes about, church or like Christianity that really like, are like kind of like it's like kind of edgy Christian humor without being offensive or too out of line. Like there's a realm of respectfulness that is still maintained, but I guess you could call it like edgy Christian humor. And I think you see some of that here in this movie, just with the tone of it. And something that Dallas has always talked about with this movie before it came out is that it's really emotional, and he was sobbing when he was reading the book. But the premise in and of itself is a really funny and goofy premise, which I think are always the best movies, the ones that have like a lot of Pixar movies, or maybe the early Pixar movies, or like this like outrageous premise, like maybe random example, a rat controlling a person by pulling his hair and wanting to cook. And then there's like this like really emotional theme or center of it that's like really pulls at your heartstrings. And I think that's what this movie is and what this source material is. So where it's like it's kind of a funny, it's goofy and funny premise, but at the heart of it, it really brings out some emotions. Maybe it was because it was midnight, or maybe it was the actual emotional center of the movie. But I did tear up. Maybe it's because I was really really tired. I'll admit that, but it was just I really enjoyed it. I think that the tone. What I was trying to say is I think the tone was handled well between The funny and emotional, or the funny and zany, wacky moments. There's a lot of really funny scenes and sequences where just the humor is layered very nicely, and jokes continue on, or the way they're sequenced is just funny and well put together. But it really does. It doesn't sacrifice that emotional center of it, and it really showcases that Dallas Jenkins is a really good actor's director, which I think is a quality that people note of him. But when a lot of the main cast of the movie is kids, which primarily the Herdmans and the other children that are in the movie, they're children. So children are not usually easy to work with or able to get great performances out of them. Just in general, maybe just because they don't understand or whatever else, their brain isn't fully formed yet. But Dallas really just I think it highlights how Dallas is really able to get great performances out of children. He really just, I don't know what it is, but he really just finds a way to get these great emotions out of them. Because if there's a movie that you watch where an actor maybe doesn't emote or doesn't act in a way that you think is good, or like you're like that could have been done better, usually it's not the actor's fault actually. If there's a performance that you think was underwhelming, usually it's the fault of the director, because it really is the director's job to pull a performance out of an actor. Now, obviously, the actor is the one doing the acting, right? So it's mainly on them. But usually, if the director would say, I want to see a little more emotion in this, or I want to see, more of this in your face or in your eyes or something, there is a good part of it that's reliant on the director. And I think Dallas really is able to pull some great emotions and acting and performances out of these characters that are in the movie. And also, you got Pete Holmes, Judy Greer, some of our chosen favorites: Kirk Waller, Elizabeth Tavish, Vanessa Benavente. So some really fun, little cameos in there. Something that's different from The Chosen, but in the same sense of kind of pointing to the Christmas story, and taking on the culture and the entertainment space with the greatest story ever told, which is the story of Jesus. And it really does, highlight that center and what the gospel is about, and what the Christmas story is about. So I think it was very enjoyable for me. My dad and I saw it, and we both agreed that it was a very good movie. I think it'll be a Christmas classic. I'll be interested to see how the general audience reacts, even maybe some people who aren't Christian or whatever, because we all know all of us Chosen fans are going to be, heading out to theaters to see this thing, and we'll be supporting it, of course, because Dallas is just a great guy in general. But I did enjoy it on a film level. Like it was not just like Dallas is just a one-trick pony. You know what I'm saying? And again, there's some of his signature kind of humor in there, but really everyone in this movie does a fantastic job. Um, Everyone else, the actors are very good. The music from Dan Hazeltine and Matt Nelson is completely different from There were actually some scenes where I was like, this sounds like a Chosen score, but the music is cool, and it's very Christmassy, and it's fresh, and it's completely different from the soundtrack of The Chosen in the tone and the vibe of it. And also the cinematography from Akis, from the cinematographer of The Chosen. He does a great job with the cinematography. The look of the movie is it's very unique, and it's fresh. It feels like its own thing. And I really appreciated that. There's a lot of cool technical film elements in there. And the story, I think, itself is handled very well. I don't remember very much about The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, like hardly anything at all. The book, I'm saying. The movie, I remember a lot. I didn't take any notes because I was just watching it. But as far as I know, I think it was pretty true to the book. And, when you have a book, you basically already have a screenplay, there for you. But it's written for the medium of reading. Right, and the visual medium of film is very much different from literature, right? So Ryan Swanson, I think, did a great job with the screenplay. Ryan Swanson, one of the three writers on The Chosen, as we all know, and I think it really was translated really well into the film medium. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very funny, very heartfelt and emotional as well, and it's it was just fun, It was well executed. It was clear that Dallas knew what he was doing, and he knew the story he wanted to tell, and he knew how he wanted to tell it. And it's just clear there was a vision here. It was very well executed, I would say. If I were to rate it, I would probably rate it a 9 out of 10. I would say that's what I would give it. That's the Eli Hollingsworth against the current rating here. I really enjoyed it. I would highly recommend you go see it when it comes out November 8th. If you were in the screening for the best Christmas pageant ever, if you've seen it already, which I'm sure there's not a ton of you, but let me know what you thought down below. I would highly recommend you go check it out. If you like The Chosen, you'll definitely like this movie. I think you don't even have to like The Chosen to like this movie. Like, it's just a good story, you know? Anyone can get on board with it. It just has this, like, irresistible charm that, like, I feel like even the most Ebenezer Scrooges of the world could get on board with it just because of its infectious fun. You know, everybody's having fun in this movie. You can tell. You know, there's passion and there's love just oozing out of it, which I think is a great quality for any production to have. I think anyone can get on board with that, and it's just, you know, infectious. It's so fun. Like, it's such a fun Christmas movie. It did feel weird. Actually, it didn't feel weird because it was in Florida, so like it doesn't feel any different. Like Dallas and Amanda had on Christmas sweaters at the screening, but like it's like it feels the same temperature here year round, 90 degrees here in Florida. And either way, if it's shown in July, shown in December, it doesn't really feel any different. You know, it's always Christmas season to us. But yeah, it was really really good. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I've stressed that enough, but it was actually a highly entertaining movie. Really really heartfelt, and I'm gonna go see it with some of my friends. I highly recommend it, definitely. So yes, congratulations to everyone on the best Christmas pageant ever. I think it's gonna be a hit. I hope that it does well. It's gonna be awesome. It's a testament to Dallas's creativity as a filmmaker. Really happy for him that he finally gets to do this. You can tell that this is a big passion project of his, and it's really great to see that he's being able to do this kind of thing and express himself in different ways creatively, while still pointing to Jesus. You know, that's awesome. Yeah, so definitely go check out the best Christmas pageant ever on November 8th. It's gonna be great. I hope it does well, and I will see you guys in my next video. We'll be talking about The Chosen some more, maybe some things for season 5, but yeah, stick around. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Binge Jesus.